Guys, can you tell me a bit about DSP, sort of like what it does, but then also how it can help brands in the long run, really?
Yeah, you want me to go?
Yeah.
So basically DSP is display advertising. It's the same tool that Amazon currently used to use through the AMG group. It's just now called Amazon Advertising.
Right.
So there are some agencies, we're one of them, that have direct link into this tool.
Okay.
So basically it allows us to do programmatic display advertising both on Amazon and off the platform using the first party shopper data.
Okay.
So it's super powerful. A lot of brands aren't using it. It's probably one of the most underutilized aspects of the platform. Everybody's doing search, everybody's doing AMS, what was formerly called AMS. But it's really a knife fight on the search page. CPC rates have increased quite a bit. So we're able to essentially bypass that entire process and go directly to the customer that we want to speak to based on their psychographic, demographic, shopper behavioral profiles, et cetera. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to add to that, I think with DSP, what's interesting is that you can actually drive traffic to outside of Amazon. So you could drive traffic to a consumer's website, for example, or you can even drive that traffic back to a brand store. So really the potential and opportunity to do a little bit more than just with paid search, which is really sticking within the Amazon platform. We're seeing more of our brands interested in that approach where they're using both paid search and
right.
DSP kind of as a combo. You're targeting different type of consumers on both. So it's nice to have a strategy where at least at the minimum brands are playing with it and testing it out.
Right. So you're effectively using the data that Amazon has collected, this really important data, and you're advertising with that on and off Amazon.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're able to link from Amazon to a direct-to-consumer site,
right.
From a direct-to-consumer site to Amazon, from the wider web to either location. It's a lot more flexible than Amazon's other advertising properties, which really just are gated to the Amazon platform itself.
Right.
So we're able to reach a much wider audience. I mean, Amazon's big, but it's not the whole internet big.
Right.
We're able to reach the whole internet essentially now with this product.
Right. So I know like Google has this too, right? But,
yep.
But it must be different in some way.
Yeah, so the underlying technology is actually fairly similar.
Okay.
The biggest difference is the data.
Okay.
So we have access to Amazon's full spectrum of data, which is really pretty incredible for targeting. So the adage goes, Google knows what you look for, Facebook knows what you talk about, but Amazon knows what you buy. And when you're trying to sell something, knowing what consumers buy or look for, add to cart, what they're in
right.
market for, et cetera, is the most valuable data set out there. And then we're able to overlay that over demographic data, regional data,
right.
Other data, and it's also updated in real time because it's first-party data versus third-party data, which may be like a list, a warranty card, a mail-in rebate, all
right.
kinds of different data sets that these other companies get. They could be 30 days old, they could be a year old. With Amazon, for example, if we're targeting in-market shopper data, we know as soon as they buy a product. So as soon as that happens, they're now out of our segment. We don't serve them as.
So updates in real time.
Updated in real time, yeah.
Interesting. So how does this sort of fall into like the overall strategy advertising on Amazon? Because it seems like this is just one tool of many. How does it fit into the folio? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So first of all, there needs to be some scale there.
Right.
Typically, if a brand isn't spending 200 to 300, 500,000 and upwards a year on advertising, okay. DSP is just not going to make sense from a scale perspective. If they have at least a $500,000 ad budget or bigger, DSP should be part of that. And I would say for an average, multi-million-dollar budget, it should be somewhere between 20 and 30% of the overall ad budget. So a significant portion. Search and display, no surprise there, work really well together in tandem. So a full funnel ad strategy is really critical, especially for bigger brands who are trying to reach more consumers. Search should still be the fundamental sort of blocking and tackling of an advertising campaign. You never want to do away with that. But really we're building display, i.e. DSP, on top of that strategy and then integrating them to create a full funnel experience for the customer on and off the platform related to that brand.
Okay. And final point on DSP, we have brands today that we're starting to do what John said is really look at those brands that have a decent amount of spend on advertising. And the mix is different, but at least at 20-30%, and it's resonating pretty well. So we're starting to see a handful of brands really understand the importance of a strategy for advertising that's a mix and hybrid, and really ones that are spending a decent amount on the platform.